A kingdom covered in snow waits quietly, while snowflakes twirl and dance in the cold air. Inside the castle, the kind queen stands alone by the window. She feels lonely and wishes for something in her heart. Her soft voice echoes in the chamber, a wish whispered into the winter's embrace. I wish for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as berries, and hair as black as night. The castle stands in serene isolation, blanketed in snow, as the queen's wish hangs in the balance. Inside the castle, the queen cradles her daughter, Snow White. Snow White's features mirror the queen's deepest wish, fulfilling a long-awaited dream. The queen's face radiates pure joy and boundless love as she gazes at her daughter. A moment of serene peace fills the castle, a fragile calm that hints at impending disruption. The quiet joy shared between mother and daughter is a beacon of hope, soon to be tested by fate. A year has drifted by, and the queen lies in her royal bed, her face pale. The king sits beside her, his face a canvas of grief and worry. She drifts into a magical sleep from which she will never awaken. The king bows his head, his shoulders shaking with silent sobs as sorrow fills the castle. A year has drifted by, and sunlight pours through the castle's grand windows, illuminating a scene of renewed beginnings. At the front of the room, the king stands. He has married again. His face looks serious, but there's also a little bit of hope in his eyes. The new queen, radiant in her beauty, lets her glacial gaze sweep across the opulent hall, silently staking her claim. Her eyes, like chips of ice, betray an ambition that chills the very air around her. Unseen, within the queen's chambers, a magic mirror waits, a silent witness to her growing vanity and insatiable hunger for power. In the queen's room, which is a little dark, the queen stands in front of a fancy mirror. The mirror's surface is glowing and swirling with magical light. The air crackles with anticipation as the queen poses the fateful question, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror responds, its voice echoing through the chamber, "You are, my queen." A chillingly satisfied expression spreads across the queen's face, confirming her obsession with beauty and power. Many years pass inside the old castle, where Snow White blossoms into a vision of youthful beauty. The queen observes from afar, her heart ensnared by envy as Snow White's beauty flourishes. A subtle shift occurs as the queen's jealousy intensifies, casting a shadow over the castle. Tension begins to coil like a serpent between Snow White and the queen, poisoning the air with unspoken rivalry. The growing animosity between them threatens to shatter the peace of the kingdom. In the dim light of her chambers, the queen's reflection flickers back at her, a silent confidant burdened with unspoken fears. The mirror declares, Snow White is now the fairest of all. Her face contorts in a silent scream of fury. A cruel smile snakes across her lips. She makes up her mind to do something bad. In the heart of the forest, the queen, cloaked in majesty, issues a chilling decree. The huntsman, feeling confused between doing his job and doing what is right, takes Snow White deep into the dark, scary forest. Take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The shadows look like long, reaching claws as Snow White is taken deeper into the forest. The quiet all around makes the danger feel even closer. The forest looms, its ancient trees bearing silent witness to the unfolding treachery. In the heart of the forest, the huntsman trembles, torn between duty and conscience. He reveals the queen's dark treachery to Snow White, his voice a desperate plea. "Run and hide," he urges, the weight of his betrayal heavy in his tone. Snow White, now aware of the danger, knows her life hangs in the balance. Amid the dense forest, Snow White struggles, her breath visible in the frigid air. Through the trees, a small cottage appears a beacon of warmth and safety. Inside, There are tiny beds and chairs, as if little people live there. Exhausted and comforted by the shelter, Snow White succumbs to sleep on one of the small beds. The 7 dwarfs, weary from their labor, enter their cottage to an unsettling silence. A heavy quiet blankets the room, a stark contrast to their usual jovial atmosphere. The dwarfs look at each other with worried faces, feeling that something is wrong. Their eyes widen in disbelief as they discover Snow White slumbering peacefully in their beds. Sunlight bathes the dwarfs' cottage as Snow White, weary but safe, shares her harrowing tale. The dwarfs listen closely, looking worried as Snow White tells her sad story. Moved by her story, the dwarfs offer her sanctuary, a haven against the darkness, never to open the door to strangers. As Snow White accepts their offer, she instinctively reaches for a broom, a promise of companionship and shared burdens. In the depths of the forest, a quaint cottage harbors an innocent soul, unaware of the danger approaching in the guise of an old woman. The old woman's voice drips with false kindness. "Such a pretty thing like you shouldn't be alone. I have a gift, a beautiful ribbon to make you even prettier." Entranced by the gift, Snow White welcomes her in. "Oh, how lovely! Please, come in." As the ribbon tightens, Snow White's eyes widen in horror, her breath escaping in a strangled gasp. The sound of whistling grows louder as the 7 dwarfs return, unaware of the tragedy awaiting them. In the heart of the forest, the queen, hidden beneath a dark cloak, materializes before the familiar cottage. With a deceptive smile, she presents Snow White with a magic comb, its glitter promising enchantment. Snow White takes the comb, but her happiness quickly turns to pain as her head starts to hurt badly. The queen's triumph is cut short by the thundering approach of the dwarfs, axes raised in fury. Foiled, the queen retreats into the shadows, her eyes burning with renewed malice. In the heart of the forest, the queen, masked in disguise, offers Snow White a tempting crimson apple. Snow White takes a bite, and suddenly she feels sleepy. Her eyes close, and she falls into a deep, magical sleep. The dwarfs, hearts shattered, discover Snow White, their faces a canvas of inconsolable grief. With gentle hands, they place her within a crystal coffin, a testament to their undying love and the queen's dark triumph. Sunlight shines through the trees, lighting up a small open space. A brave prince stops in front of a shiny glass box. Inside, Snow White rests, her beauty untouched, as if in a peaceful sleep. The prince, mesmerized, signals his servants to carefully lift the coffin. As the servants carry the coffin, a sudden jolt dislodges the poisoned apple, and Snow White gasps awake.
Her eyes flutter open, and she takes a breath, reborn from her enchanted slumber. The prince kneels before her.
He asks, "Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife and queen?" She responds, "Yes, my prince, I will."